Hello and welcome back to the Obsidian Mirror, where we pause a moment to reflect. I'm going to give you a squeaky chair warning. As I settle in, I invite you to also settle in. Perhaps that is grabbing a beverage of choice. I have coffee with me right now. I'm going to do a mirror reflection read so that we can explore the current internal landscape and potential active patterns. I invite you to take a few deep breaths with me, starting now. While I shuffle the cards, it may be a good time for you to continue breathing in your chosen technique, or do some gentle stretching. Perhaps you want to work out some excess energy by shaking your hands, doing a little dance. Perhaps you want to grab a comfort item like a blanket or a stuffy. It might be a good time to do a body scan or settle into your body if that feels safe. I had a misstart this morning. My previous recording was interrupted in a way that I could not salvage, which is fine. It gave me an opportunity to experience frustration and a little bit of disappointment and move through it. I did some deep breathing and reminded myself that while I cannot currently control my environment, I have the ability to try again. Accidents happen, and that's okay. I'm feeling less frustration now that I get to try again. If you have had any frustrations lately, I relate and I feel for you. I wonder if there's something you do to rebalance after something like that. An interruption, a misinterpretation maybe. I am always looking for tools I can use to help me navigate an emotional experience with as much grace as possible. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. These cards are very thick, and I like that, but they can be challenging to shuffle. They're also very glossy, so they slip and slide a lot. I have some exciting news. I was able to order a new tarot deck. And I'm looking forward to using it on the channel, introducing you, as it were. I do love the decks that I've been working with, and I also value novelty. I like change and development, transformation, evolution. I'm going to make sure that the cards can be seen well. And I'm going to take a deep breath and lean into the energy, see what I can see. I invite you to really get a look at these images, if you are able, as I read off the cards. For those who like audio or need audio better / more. For the current state, we have the Empress, and for active pattern, we have the Mountain archetype card in the reverse. The Shadow Seer tarot card representing the unseen or avoided aspect is also the Empress, or the Cannibal Mother. And for potential integration or guidance, we have the Son of Cups. When it comes to the Empress, in this art we have a well-established tree. It is set against a night background with a crescent moon. The coloring of the tree gives me the idea of an internal fire, a brightness that originates within. And it is very plain to see in this artwork. Some of the leaves have warm, nurturing colors, activating red and a sort of soft, somber purple. which can be seen as a royal color or a mystical color. The idea I get from this card is one of sovereignty, of having a solid, unshakable sense of self, well-established roots, the ability to provide shade and shelter, there's a certain amount of strength here. You can't tell a tree what it is, it just knows. And that is shown through how it just is. There's a level of being, which I think can be a challenging state to attain. Being in the present moment, just existing, not necessarily needing to do anything or change anything. For the archetype card, we have the mountain in reverse. I recently read The Mountain Is You, which is a book. I can't remember who authored it, but I really enjoyed the whole experience and the opportunity to view myself and view life in a different way, to be able to understand that I can cultivate my own mind in whatever way I choose. It helped me get out of development mode for this channel and start recording and start publishing my videos, one step at a time towards my goal. I wonder if any of you have read this book and what your experience or takeaway may have been. When I think about mountains, I think about the Capricorn archetype, which I find a lot of valuable lessons in. They don't see a whole mountain and shrink away because it's too big. They are able to put their heads down and take one step at a time to forge their own path up the mountain. And some goats can climb very sheer cliffs towards whatever end they have, whether that be food or some instinct that takes over and helps them up the way. I quite admire the industriousness of Capricorn spirits. Now, the mountain in reverse could be taken literally as a valley or a descent of some kind. It could be what I was talking about previously, about ignoring the magnitude before you and just doing it anyway. There's also a sense of strength here in this card in general. And in the reverse, it gives me a sense of internal strength, something that is not obvious to the observers, a reinforcement or reiteration of the Empress card. For the shadow aspect, we have the Empress again, the cannibal mother. It makes me wonder about self-obsession, about identifying with a role that we find ourselves in to the point of toxicity. Perhaps we have witnessed this in ourselves or others, where someone who is in a nurturing or motherly role somehow twists that. And instead of becoming encouraging and empowering of those around them, it starts to consume. Perhaps the mother role is consuming them or consuming those around them. There could be an erosion of identity. There could be an erosion of sovereignty. I think sometimes those of us who find ourselves in a nurturing position or a caretaking role feel the weight of life differently than those of us who have not experienced it. And sometimes we don't know what to do. We don't know the best ways to behave or how to direct an excess of compassion or care or energy of some kind. So this card makes me wonder if there is a rebalancing that could happen where something has been twisted or become consuming, if there is an outlet that we can explore that will help us come back to ourselves in a way that is more authentic and more genuine. This card makes me think of compassion fatigue and overperformance. When it comes to the integration or the possible guidance, we have the Son of Cups. This could represent a person or an archetype. It brings to mind an emotional aspect of self, a young, learning, emotionally intelligent potential, something that is not yet sure of itself, still emerging, still becoming. We have a lot of intuitive emotional expression in these first three cards. That is the receptive sort, or the feminine expression of energy, which is naturally tuned inward. And this Son of Cups, or the masculine expression, is an outward direction of energy. I do my best to refrain from using gendered language And so when I say masculine or feminine, I do not mean bodies. I mean energy. Where is the energy going? Is it going inward, or is it being expressed outward? Now, I think there is a potential here for learning healthy emotional intelligence and learning healthy emotional expression. And this process could very well be underway already. I also think that there is the potential for some more learning, skill building, refinement. The Son of Cups is a young energy, potentially earnest, trying for the sake of self and others, not just for the sake of trying. Emotional awareness of situations, of influence, of consequences. When I look at this spread as a whole, it makes me wonder if there could be an opportunity to learn how to more effectively or more efficiently translate an inner experience to share with others. How are we relating to other people? And does it honestly reflect our internal state? When and where to share, when and where to hold ourselves with grace or give grace to other people. What to share? What could be helpful? What could be harmful? I think there is the suggestion to recalibrate how we relate with others. Vulnerability is emphasized here, and also strength in vulnerability. The emotional world and experience can be quite challenging to navigate on one's own, and it can be even more challenging to navigate with others. But it can also bring us much, much closer to each other. It can feel scary, but it can also lead to deeper bonds. There's an opportunity for connecting in new and or different and or better ways. I really like this spread. It gives me a sense of some challenge, but also a lot of hope and a lot of possibility. I'm going to take another deep breath. If anything I said here is something that you find usable, I'm grateful for that. I also invite you to let me know in some way by liking the video, commenting, subscribing, or sharing. It will help me learn about you more and form an intentional community in this channel. It will help me refine my process and help me know that as nervous as I am about sharing this aspect of myself with you, that it is appreciated in some way. I'm going to end the reading here. I invite you to check in with your body one more time if that's something you feel safe to do. And maybe I'll see you soon on the Obsidian Mirror.